Morning, good morning. How are you both?
Good morning. Doing well, thank you.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good, good, good.
Morning.
Thanks for joining us. I'm sorry about Carla's newscast. Sometimes she slips some things in there that I just can't believe.
You seem to be very, very flabbergasted.
I am. I didn't think that was a thing, but maybe another 25 years, Bermuda might be on that level too. Well, let's get into the conversation. For you, Mr. Robert, what is the Ministry of Public Works $13 million stimulus program, and what is the aim with it?
All right, so it was released on December 18th of last year, just before the Christmas break, or the holidays, I should say. And the objective is exactly what it's called. So it's a stimulus program. The aim of the ministry is to be able to stimulate the economy and get small to medium-sized contractors back to work, and obviously doing a various range of sizes of contracts. From small to large, and it's mainly about getting infrastructure worked on for the government and being able to, provide jobs to people.
Indeed. And just tell me, I'm not sure if this would be for you, Joyce, but what is the Bermuda Economic Development Corporation's role in all of this?
Well, BEDC is looking to offer workshop sessions, virtual sessions online, so that small and medium-sized businesses who may need a little help with the information that has to be submitted for the pre-qualification, so that we can make sure they are successful. So the workshops are going to be given all throughout this week to make sure that any questions that need to be asked can be asked. So BEDC is partnering with Ministry of Public Works to try to assist in making sure persons have the information they need to be successful.
Indeed.
Now, Mr. Richardson, why is it necessary for the government to offer a program like this right now?
Well, because of the negative impact of COVID-19 on the economy, the minister and the ministry felt that it was prudent to be able to release this program now, to be able to, provide work to people instead of, having to give financial assistance checks or, what the government calls stimulus checks in the U.S., what we've called benefit checks, rather than just giving those away for free. It's a trade-off now, and a bit of value for both parties in terms of infrastructure projects getting worked on for the government, and then people being able to put a little bit of money in their pocket.
Now, if Ms. Haywood, if you could answer me from the BEDC perspective, and then Mr. Richardson from the government perspective, what are some of the qualifications that one must have in order to be pre-qualified for the stimulus package, and how can people sign up?
And I will just say, for BEDC's perspective, and it will defer to Robert, but we want to make sure persons have their financial information in a succinct order, in a clear way, so that when they submit the package, they can answer any questions, that the support is there, and that so that they're not just coming up with a number off the top of their head. So we want to make sure that the things that they should have are all of their pricing, their information about all of the financial pieces, as well as the organizational pieces. And so that's the part that I think BEDC is playing.
Yeah, so when it comes to, from the ministry side, in terms of what we're asking for people to be pre-qualified or be able to get qualified with government is, and everything that I'm going to basically mention here is listed in the documents that are available on the government's website, the procurement website. So a signed mandatory submittal form. So essentially it's just a form that we've asked a few company and organizational questions, and you provide info, a company profile that gives you or gives us background about your company, what you specialize in, the type of projects that you'll be interested in, certificate of incorporation, 3 professional reference letters, and what we call a local benefit form, where we just ask, how many Bermudians do you have with your company, your local suppliers, will you be using any or percentage of how many local suppliers you will use, so things like that we're looking for. And then obviously a unit rate sheet, what Joyce just mentioned when it comes down to financials.
Out of curiosity, do they have to be making below a certain threshold? Because what if a larger company tries to apply? Is that okay?
So yeah, larger companies can apply, but we're specifically aiming, or this program is specifically for small to medium-sized businesses. But there will be some specialized works that obviously we will have to partner with larger firms that maybe have the larger equipment and are more experienced in certain trades, but we're sort of, so I guess what we're looking to do is have smaller companies subcontract with these larger companies as well. So it's not entirely just going to be all small to medium-sized businesses, but that's what the aim is for. And in terms of the amount of revenue, I don't have that off the top of my head. I think that we're saying that if you're under about 5 million a year, you're classified as a small to medium-sized business.
Oh, wow. So when are the
don't put me on that. Don't put me on that. I'm trying to pull the number from the documents. Right?
Must be nice, 5 million. But when are the virtual sessions? What can participants take away and how can they sign up?
The sessions are starting tomorrow, and you can sign up on the BEDC website, which is BEDC for Bermuda Economic Development Corporation.bm. And as soon as you get on the site, you'll see the nice blue and red banner. Not that blue and red is necessarily, anyway, we won't go into Georgia Somerset, but you'll see the banner and the flyer. And the sessions start tomorrow, and there are 3 sessions regarding the general pre-qualification forms. We're going to go through the actual form. And the sessions are at 9 a.m., 2 p.m., and 6:30 p.m. for the general pre-qualification forms. And then the financial sessions that I'll be running are same days, and they're actually 4 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week, so starting tomorrow, and they are at 5 and 7:30 p.m. And again, you can register for those on the BEDC website, bedc.bm, and you can pick the session, and if it's not full, you can register for the session that you would like to attend. So there's 3 general sessions and 2 financial sessions every day starting tomorrow for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
So if I'm a small to medium contractor and I don't have my financials in order as such, will the BDC, I know that you said that there are these information sessions, but will the BDC offer tools to help those people to get themselves pre-qualified?
We will be giving information. So we will give them tools to help them with their pricing and to help them with information. They will have to generate that information. So if they have 5 employees or are looking to have 5 employees for the contract, we will give them the tools that they will need, where they'll leave with some checklists, spreadsheets that they can fill in the information to help them to generate the information for the package, for the submission and the proposal. They don't need necessarily financial statements for the submission, but they should be looking to prepare those or have those for some historic information if they've been in business before. So the BEDC is not going to provide financial statements for them, but will give them the tools to help them to generate the information they need for the package.
And if someone is unable for whatever reason to attend these sessions, where else can they get the information for the pre-qualification package as such?
So the pre-qualification package is on our website. When I say our website, www.gov.bm, and then you have to navigate to the procurement section, and then you'll see the RFSQ package there where you just download the documents. And I also encourage people to register their interest at stimulus@gov.bm. So what happens is if you know that you're going to submit a package to us, just email that email address and say, hey, I'm interested, I'll be submitting a package, and then we put your name in a database. So if there's any additional info or addenda that need to be sent out, that's the form of communication that we use.
And I'll add that there's a link right to the portal for the forms and for all this information on the BEDC site as well. So if the person can't get to it on the Gov site, if they can't navigate to get to it, go to bedc.bm, click on the stimulus package picture, and right in the middle of the page, there's a link that says go to Ministry of Works portal, and they can get it there as well.
Yeah, and just sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Just so that everybody has sort of a wide idea or to understanding of what we're trying to do is that we're in the first phase of the stimulus program where we're requesting contractors or inviting contractors to be qualified. So then once this period closes on February 15th, that's the new date now because an addenda has been released, The ministry will obviously conduct its own reviews on all the submissions and determine what companies have qualified and what companies aren't. It's not difficult to get qualified. So mainly if you submit everything that's needed, you will be qualified. And then we move into what we will call the tendering process, where we then go ahead and start requesting quotes for various different projects. And obviously, if you are successful in that process, you're awarded a government contract, and then the work start. And this can all happen very quickly after the 15th of February. So you just need people to be ready.
If you have any questions for Joyce Hayward or Robert Richardson, please send me, and I'll ask your questions immediately after, well, probably my last question here. So am I wrong to think that this would be, I know, and I don't want to get into the politics of it all, but it seems like this is to avoid what has been traditionally been said about family and friends. So this is a fair process that everyone applies to be a part of, and then you have to provide a certain amount of information that's needed, and then it'll be a decision that's made after that. That's what I'm getting from this, right? Just to make sure that there's a fair selection process for government contracts. Would that be accurate?
Yes, that is a good point. And what the government is also trying to do is extend the pool that the government selects from. So we have obviously contractors that generally work with government, and we know that a lot of people want to be able to, be awarded these contracts. But we do realize that some people don't have the expertise in doing a qualification or a tender bid, but they want to be involved. So this was a way to be able to open up and level the playing field to say, okay, here's this request for qualification. If you're interested, and hopefully we get, a ton of applicants that now you're part of the government's pool that we can select from in order to give work.
Indeed. Okay. It makes a lot of sense. And I think it's something that, a lot of people should be happy about, to see that the process is right out in front of us. And, it's no, oh, that's my brethren or my home girl or my cousin. And yeah, this should be something that we all appreciate. Rosalind Famous says, what kind of infrastructure projects would the companies be providing? And I think you spoke to that, but feel free.
Yeah, so I won't go into actual names of projects just yet, because that'll be on the tender forms when we submit them. But the types of work across the board and all facets of construction, in terms of building concrete stairs, foreshore protection works, masonry works. There are a few marine projects in there as well. Concrete resurfacing, industrial building, fit outs or outfits, fencing projects, landscaping, electrical, HVAC, you name it. We even have projects for what we call the professional services, that are design, engineering firms, architectural firms. So we're trying to touch it all.
Indeed. I know you said that the 5 million was not probably the exact number, but let's say whatever the number is, that's standard. Based on the criteria, is it based on US or Bermuda? Rosalind Famous is asking.
Sorry, is it based on US or?
She's asking the standard, whatever it is. Let's say it was 2 million. Is it based on what's considered small business in the US or Bermuda? That's what I believe she's asking.
Oh, Bermuda, definitely Bermuda.
That's what I thought.
It's listed in our RFSQ document, and also I believe on the BED site what they determine what a small to medium-sized business is. So apologies that I don't have that number right off the top of my head.
Okay. Another question, Rosalind, you're on a roll today. Out of curiosity, where do stimulus funds come from? Private investors?
I believe that I don't have that exactly, but that these stimulus funds are coming from earmarked funds that the ministry has said is allocated for, infrastructure works. That's all I can really say about that. In terms of it coming from private funding, do not believe so.
Okay. Yeah. That's actually an interesting question, and I thought that would come about where the funds are coming from and how would government make their money back. But I think, in fairness, and just tell me if you agree or if I'm going somewhere I shouldn't, but I think the idea of the government not having to pay out financial packages, but rather creating opportunities for employment is the overall goal, correct?
Yes, absolutely. That's exactly what it is. So, these projects will go along at some point during the year, and the funds are already there for it in the ministry's budget. But, the ministries realize that, okay, we need to get more people to work now. So we're going to try to get as much projects done, in the first quarter of this year as possible. And that's where the stimulus program comes in.
Indeed. And Ms. Joyce, just speak to us about someone who's tuned in today, right? They want to connect with the BEDC about this. What should they be prepared to engage the BEDC with? What should they be prepared for in that conversation?
If they are interested in this particular program, then it's really just let us know what information you have, what are you looking to do, what kind of business you're in. You really don't have to have anything in place to attend any of the sessions. It's just making sure you're a contractor, you're a small business, whether you've had a government contract or not before, come on board. If you want general information from the BEDC, it's good to have an idea of what you plan to do, when you plan to start, and if you're looking for financing, what you are looking to do, how much you're looking for. Some people come with just ideas, and that's fine too. So BEDC will run the gamut for you from knowing nothing about just having ideas and can help you to formulate those things. And if you are along the way and already have a business plan and things like that, they can help with that as well. There's a lot of information on the BEDC website, again, bedc.bm. There's a small business toolbox under resources that has a lot of information that can help businesses. There's a business plan. If you want to set up a business plan, if you don't have one, don't know how to set one up, there's information that can help with the persons at BEDC. There's also a form at the office on the website. So persons are working virtually and in the office, but they can provide all of that information. So I would say if you don't know, come anyway, and persons will be available to assist and help and get you on the way to get you to where you want to be.
I know you mentioned going to the site for, to get more information. Do you know, or are you in a position to say whether there will be other stimulus programs coming down the pipeline for other sectors?
I don't know that. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Robert.
At this point in time, we do not know that. We need to see how successful we are in this stimulus program before we can talk about, other sectors or how we will go about that. So right now, we're concentrating on this one. It's not to say a no, but we just need to see how this one pans out first.
Absolutely. Question from Charles H. Jeffers II. This seems like a process program that should have been in place. Are there thoughts to continue to do this in the future? And I think that was pretty much what I just asked, kind of.
Oh, yes, definitely. So, I can sit here and say, yes, it probably should have been done before, but, let's just take the opportunity now to be a part of this stimulus program, because what the pre-qualification process does is able to get you in the door, so that now when we solicit or try to give contracts, it's a quicker process in terms of, now we know you're pre-qualified, we know that you have everything to work for the government. Now it's just a tender process, which can be done quicker in terms of being able to select contractors and give work. Will it continue? We hope it does.
Okay. Any final words from yourself, Robert, in terms of people who may be interested in applying for this? I know it's like a lottery to some people. Some people, well, you know what? I'm not buying a lottery ticket because I never win. But is there anything you can say to people in that respect, that saying, look, we know you understand you have no opportunities right now. Here is one. This is why you should apply.
Yeah, and that's why we're encouraging everybody to register or submit an application for this qualification period, because we have contractors that have already worked with government and they might feel that it's not important. But I'll say to them that this is a new program, so even if you've done multiple contracts with government, you should still submit, maybe even just update your qualifications. Just send them, because if you worked for government before, it shouldn't even take you long to fill it out. So send it in, so you're in this new database, and obviously then you're eligible for contracts going forward. There are a bunch of people that probably already had the experience filling this out, and I just want to be clear in that those contractors that feel comfortable submitting their applications and their responses do not need to go to the BEDC sessions. The sessions are mainly for people that may not know, or this is the first time and they're just looking for a bit of guidance. So I think that's important to say. And Yeah, to those people that think that, government always gives contracts to these same little firms. We hear it all. This is the opportunity that will, like I said before, we're leveling the playing field. We're trying to get as many people in as possible. The more contractors we can select from, is more work that can get done on the government side, and obviously it's more competition. So that's what we're trying to do here.
Indeed, indeed. Another question, Charles H. Jeffers asked, are there additional points given to minority and women-owned businesses?
I am not involved in the criteria or the evaluation, so I cannot speak to that.
Indeed, got you. Honestly, it's been helpful having you guys explain this. Anything you want to say before we let you go?
If I can jump in, I just wanted to make sure I got the numbers right. The definition of small business for BEDC is any company having an annual gross sales or having annual gross revenue less than 1 million and payroll less than 500,000. So that's small. And as Robert said, medium is between 1 million and 5 million in annual gross revenues and annual payroll between 500,000 and 2.5 million. So that's big for a lot of companies. But I know you were laughing, Carla, because I when you think of a small business, like a $5 million, but so that's actually small and medium. And so that's the levels that are considered for government for BEDC.
Indeed.
Thanks for that. I wasn't entirely wrong, I guess.
No, you were absolutely right. So because it goes up to that for medium, for small and medium. So small up to million, medium up to 5 million.
I love it.
Just
Can't wait to medium problems.
Just stay at 999,999,000 so you can stick under there. I got it. Businesses. But thank you both for comment on and having this conversation and explaining this. And hopefully, people sign up and it accomplishes what we're trying to do for the community and country overall. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for having us and helping us, raise awareness about it. It's always just about getting the word out there. So again, we just make the pool larger. So thank you for having me.
No problem.
And I'll just add, you can definitely go on the site. There's still availability. Please sign up for one of the sessions. And it's different for the overall session versus the financial session. So please sign up.
All righty. Thank you both, Robert Richardson and Joyce Haywood. All the best going forward.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
Have a great day.
No problem.
Have a good day.